Hello, everyone. This is Dana from Dev Device. I am honored to have Mr. Amish from Javar with me today. Good evening, good morning, Dr. Amish.
Good evening, Dano. How are you?
I'm
Uh,
fantastic.
it's like we started. I would say that when it is evening somewhere, it's always sunrise somewhere. Uh,
Yeah.
just to give you a little bit introduction about myself, I'm Amish, founder of Javar, who's a division of ALTR, the
Mm.
pioneer in the lab-grown diamond industry. Uh, as a third generation diamantaire or jeweler whose grandfather made jewels for the royals of India, from the Queen of Nepal to the
Oh my
various
God.
princes and the Darbhanga Maharaja. Uh, my dad was a simplistic man who followed his granddad, stayed with him for most and almost all his life. To have a son who is almost wiring buildings at the age of 12. Um, as a kid who should have been playing with toys and video games, my fun part was I enjoyed video games, but I liked opening them up, ripping them apart, and figuring out what was inside the game and how Donkey Kong, if you remember those days,
Yep, I do.
what was, yeah, what was going on in there. So at the age of 12 is where my tech story starts. Uh, an institute came in and did a presentation, and there was a kid who kept interrupting them. At the end of the presentation, they asked for me to come and see them in the room, and I with my dad next day. And I said, "Oh my God, I should have just sat quietly." And they told my dad that you need to send this kid to school to learn computers. And that's like, okay, instead of messing around at home, he might as well learn something and do something. I think we're talking of 1986,
Wow. And
11.
that was where in India?
This was in Surat in India. Sorry, I'm born in India, started in Mumbai, and then moved to Surat at a very early age of 9 years old.
Mhm.
Studied at the school St. Francis Xavier's, which was a division of a British school. And at the age of 11, this Indian Institute of Computer Science made this presentation. So, well, I started school, and it so happened that dad didn't realize he left a kid in a candy store because now I was in a computer school. What's interesting, Dano, is that we're talking 1980s in India. You'll be
Mm.
surprised that there was only two computers in the entire state for
Wow.
school, and one of them was with us. So I guess the class used to last about 45 minutes to 60 minutes, but I would go there at 3 in the afternoon after school and come home at 7 in the evening because I would not leave the school. I would sit class after class, and I just enjoyed. Leading me that in the 6th month, the teacher in my school was the student at the institute.
Wow.
He was my student, which was very interesting. He was my teacher in school, but he was my student at the institute. And by 87, I was already writing departmental store programs. And I guess uh, it just evolved in 1991, which is when I was just getting ready to graduate. I got a scholarship from informatics in London and Unisys US. And you have to keep in mind, we're a very traditional family. It's a traditional jeweler family. And so it's not my dad. You have to go to granddad and ask him that I want to go study. And he said, "You were born a jeweler and you can be a jeweler." And that was end of my schooling career. I never went
Oh,
back to computer school.
I,
And I started in the world of jewelry. Uh, Fast forwarding from 92, I learned jewelry, got in the trade. And the next part that I'll share with you is almost humorous because today, when I look back to the 90s, there was this rush of coming to America. And I remember in 96, my uncles and have been in US and, they told dad, send him here, let him get trained. And, I come in here And 6 months later, I tell my uncle it's too boring for me. And they're looking at me like, what's wrong with you? There is a whole line of people in India and different parts of the world who want to come to America. And you're saying it's boring. But the jewelry industry was boring. Boring from the part that in the last 100 years, nothing has changed.
Mm.
The same people did the same thing the same way. And you were expected to do that generation after generation.
Mhm.
So I came here in 96, went back 97. They again convinced this kid to come back in 97. I went back in 98. And then my dad's like, God, I don't know what I'm going to do with you. And I said, I'll figure out something. I came back in 2000. They convinced me again. And in
Mm.
2001, I finally went to granddad and told him, you have to let me go. Bless me
So
and
you
let me go.
really had to get his permission. So there was no such thing as going against your granddad, right? So the
No,
culture
no.
is like that. Yeah.
Culture is the core to who we are, and that is the core to even our brand today.
Mm.
So in 2001, he blessed and said, "Go find your way." And I came to New York, and guess where I ended up? I got a job in a Jewish jewelry company again.
What a
I
coincidence.
It was the most unusual coincidence. At a lunch, somebody tells me, "You know what, Amish, I have a job for you." And I said, okay, listen, I've left the family. I need to do something. I got to prove myself. So he's like, yeah, it's a big company in New York. And I come in, and it's a company that's been in business 50 years, has two computers and 54 people. And
Mm.
now I'm like, okay, what do I do now? What do I call home and tell them? So I said, okay, listen, I'm going to make it. I got fired 3 times in the next 18 months.
Oh.
Uh, yeah, because I was like, it doesn't work. This is not how things work. But finally, uh, during the evolution, they identified my strength and I became the COO. From basically getting fired in the first 18 months, I was their right hand man. Coming to where
In the
we are
same company.
in the same company, same owner, Mr. Gross,
Whoa.
who fired me 3 times. Ultimately, I became his right hand man in 2005. The one thing they loved is I would find projects that would change things. And
Mm.
even to keep it in a summary, was one of the first to bring steel bracelets that a lot of men wear in America today and have fun with steel and diamond jewelry.
Mhm.
I was the first to bring it here in 2003 in America. I did German
Wow.
machine set YouTubes. The whole part was his whole thing was go find me something new for business. And he knew that I would go through layers to create something that created value for the company.
Mhm.
In 2005, the first time this kid was back in a candy store because somebody called and said there is a scientist who claims to grow diamonds. And I said,
Wow.
oh my God, I got to research on this. And from 2005 to 2006 was a journey. And in 2006, as world's first lab grown diamond fine jewelry. So I didn't even think lab grown. I was already thinking, oh my God, we're gonna do jewelry. We're gonna change this world.
Mhm.
And in June 1st, 2006, I put out the world's first lab grown fine jewelry line, only to be lab.
Wow.
And everybody was laughing. People joked that this would never work. This is never gonna happen, and this is gonna sink.
Mhm.
And I guess I was young enough to look at them and say, "Don't worry about it. It's okay," and not cry. But
Mhm.
heart and heart, years later today, I can just imagine. Uh, Thankfully to Mr. Grosspot, he supported the project till 2008, and then we had to put it on hold. 2011, I took over the company,
Mhm.
and I told my brother, I said, "Can we go back?" And he said, "Let's do it." And 2014, we cracked the technology, and 2016, Alter was born as the
Mhm.
pioneer to take this category of lab grown diamonds to the world.
Wow.
What's interesting, Dano, is it was exactly 10 years and 1 day later, we came back.
Mhm.
Sometimes life has such unique dates. 30th May
Mhm.
2006, June 1st, 2016. And being blessed that year in September, we got our first retail footprint at Borsheim's, a Berkshire Hathaway store.
Mm.
What opened as a category for a few $1 million today is a $12 billion industry.
Oops.
And yeah,
That's a lot
and
of dollars, man.
that's a lot of dollars, and the industry has evolved. Alter stood for change. We educated hundreds of salespeople, almost about 2,500 salespeople globally,
Mm,
Poland, Australia, every country. And that gives where comes Javar is while we educated the consumer about the choice for lab grown diamonds, the one thing that always stayed is the consumer is has skepticism, hesitation about, where does the gold come from? Where do these diamonds come from? They want transparency. Today, even if you get a cup of coffee, you want
mhm.
to know where this coffee came from.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, the consumer wants to make sure that that cup is not plastic so that it's not going in landfill. And this is where the idea of Javar was born. Being
Mhm,
blessed with the name that my dad gave me, because he's the one who actually gave me a name when I was sort of semi
mm,
frustrated finding a name that would represent all of this. And he said, if it's all about adorning beauty and a
mhm,
jewel, you need to give it a name that's a more of an umbrella that covers everything you want to say. And
mhm.
that's where Javar was born. Javar is Javar. Javar is Javarat. And if you Google it, you might be like, what is this word? This word is over 1,000 years old.
Oh, wow.
This term was being used in the early 1000 AD as an identifier. It's basically Javar in simple forms equals jewelry. But
Mhm,
what's beautiful is, and I know the world today, we talk about genderless, gender fluid, and those
mhm.
conversations. 1,000 years ago in ancient India, it was already existed. Javar, which was Javar, was a term used for beautiful jewelry that adorned not only femininity, but also masculinity. That was
Mm.
gender fluid, and it was primarily a beautiful jewel that adorned beauty.
So
So that
men
is
would also wear jewels. It was not just something for women.
absolutely, absolutely. If you will see, and if you get a chance to look at some old Indian movies, you'll see jewelry in India was not at all about just women. Men love jewelry. Means I love jewelry growing up. I wear a chain, I wear a ring, I have a bracelet. I had a bracelet by the time I even got to college.
Oh,
So jewelry is all about beauty and how it makes you feel. And Javar is jewelry with a conscience. Javar was a brand that has been brought to market to remove skepticism and hesitation from the minds of the consumer.
mhm.
It stands on the pillars of authenticity and transparency to even start with. Uh, we grow our diamonds, we cut and polish them, we design jewelry, and we make jewelry with recycled gold. We use
Oh,
solar energy even to grow our diamonds. So, putting
wow.
all this together, the design, artisanal hand finishing, and manufacturing puts the whole brand together. And so it's a, guest or a consumer that wears a Javar jewel or gets a gift is proud to own and wear a piece of Javar. So that
Mhm.
is, I would say, maybe a long one, but yeah, that's the journey of Amish and Javar.
That is fascinating, man. So you come from like an over 1,000-year-old tradition of jewelry, of tradition in India, with your ancestors being in that business. And I mean, this word Java, I mean, to me, it's, I don't know, it gives me goosebumps somehow. It sounds like there's a lot behind this word. But yeah, as you mentioned, there is a lot behind it. And And you are the pioneer who have brought like, how you call this properly, like lab made jewels,
Lab
diamonds,
created diamonds. Yeah.
lab create. Can you help me out a bit here? So how does this work? How do you, I mean, I was not, until now, I was not aware that you can create diamonds. I mean, that sounds like you can print your own money in a way.
So,
But I
uh,
guess it's not easy. So how does this work?
sure. So, uh, we've all known that diamonds have been found in beneath the earth about 120 kilometers, and you mine these diamonds. This has been around for hundreds of years.
Oh
And
yeah.
in the last 100 years, through great marketing, diamonds have become prominent as a representation of precious moments and emotions in life. Uh, However, it always involves mining, and of course, there's stories that we have all heard about.
Yeah.
Uh,
Some of them are ugly, yeah. But yeah.
yes. So when we say lab grown diamonds, I think the first thing is, what is this? Is this like you go and you put in something in a machine, you press the button and you grow a diamond? No. So a lab grown diamond is grown from a diamond. In simple
Oh.
words, if I had to make you think about it, think about greenhouse flowers, beautiful African orchids that are grown in a greenhouse.
Mm.
What we do is we take a thin slice of a diamond, almost as thin as your hair,
Hmm.
that started from an earth mine diamond. This diamond is placed in a chamber. If you had to visualize, think of a chamber the size of a six-person dining table at home, like a
Hmm.
simple oval or
Hmm.
rectangle table, supported by another huge facility that has pressure and cooling and that. We close the chamber. Uh, we arrange the seats on the bottom of the chamber and we close the chamber. We pump in purified methane. Now, I do
Hmm.
want to make it clear, a lot of times the moment you say the word gas, they're like, oh my God, gases are always bad. No, methane is purified carbon. So we pump in methane and raise the temperature. Methane at a certain temperature between 1800 and 2000 degrees Fahrenheit, or about 1000 degrees centigrade, breaks apart and the carbon floats in
Mm.
the air at the top of the chamber. This carbon then bonds as it excites with the temperature going up to 1300 degrees, and then rain showers on the diamond seed that was sitting at the bottom of the
Oh.
chamber. So, layer
Mhm.
by layer, a diamond is grown at
Oh.
approximately 600 hours of continuous crystallization. Yes,
Wow.
yes, 24
600.
days.
Okay, so this is why I should maybe not try this at home, huh?
No. So so it takes about 600 hours for the diamond rough to grow, after which we cool down the chamber. We take the rough out. This charcoal looking piece of altar created diamond rough, you use a laser jet, take off, it's like a coconut, take the top
Mhm.
out. What comes out from inside is a beautiful grown diamond. What is
Mm.
very unique, Dano, is that every diamond we grow is a type to a diamond. And might sound like a scientific term. Yeah, you see, is like, what is type 2A? The truth is that in the last 300 years that we have recorded diamonds, the purest diamonds in the world are less than 2%. There's four types of diamonds, and I won't make this a
Oh.
science class, but less than 2% of the world's diamonds are type 2A. Type 2A are diamonds with little to no nitrogen in them and no impurities. What
Oh.
that means is they are the purest known to man. And if I had to give you a referral point, the Kohinoor diamond, the Orlo diamond, all these famous diamonds from the Golconda mines of India
Mhm.
are type 2A diamonds. Every diamond we grow is a type 2A diamond
Oh.
because the seed allows us to continue the characteristics, and our seeds are type 2A.
Hmm.
So once the rough is out, we cut it, we polish it to a specific shape, and now you have a beautiful Javar diamond. So that is the journey. The energy that is used is solar. So it's renewable energy that we use, because a lot of times they're like, okay, so if you're running an oven, it must be a lot of energy. Yes, we do
Well,
use.
you would not be the only one who runs an oven here, but yeah, it's, I mean, it's even more amazing that you do this using solar energy. Yeah, I really appreciate that. Yeah.
Because see, today's consumer is very conscious. And, just to give you a good referral point, why is the attraction of lab grown diamonds so high? Did you know that in the earth mine diamond, they use over 486 liters of water for 1 carat of diamond? Yes.
I did not know that. 480 liters.
Yes. And about 100 square feet of land is displaced for every 1 carat of diamond.
And
So
how many working hours? I can only imagine how many people are digging these landfills for how many hours under whatever conditions. Yeah, it's probably not always fun.
yeah, and that's where I believe that we represent the future. We represent the future of fine jewelry. We represent the future of diamonds. And this is why the consumer is attracted. Consumer, it's more than attraction, I would have to say. This is why the consumer adoption is so high,
Hmm.
because they can see it, they can see through it, and it helps them authenticate
Hmm.
their belief.
Well, you did something that it reminds me of Tesla in a way, where you kind of revolutionize an industry and make it green somehow. Uh, are you the only company doing this?
Today, we are not the only company doing this. It's technology. Technology needs to be spread. Knowledge is power, but power needs to be shared.
Hmm.
We were the first to bring this to the market. We were the first to lead the conversation. Today, there are a few corporations that are growing diamonds, and that has helped the industry grow from almost nothing to about 12 billion. In
Hmm.
the next 2 years, you will see another few $1 billion being added. And Dano, you know what's the most interesting part is? We don't put up billboards. We don't go out
Hmm.
on the street screaming, but the consumer is telling each other of this
It's word
change.
of mouth. Yeah.
It's word of
Wow.
mouth. It's the podcast like what we are having today, and it's the media. And I always thank
Hmm.
every one of you to help get the word to the consumer, because it's authentic. It's a
Hmm.
true story, and it's the true
Hmm.
magic of human achievement that today we don't have to mine. We grow
Hmm.
beautiful and fine diamonds.
Hmm. With solar power. I mean, that's as good as it gets. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. I mean, so you are completely open to sharing the recipe with other companies. There's no like a patent or like a trademark or something that, I mean, I would expect if I had figured out how to grow diamonds, I would make an effort to protect this process and to, like, to kind of prevent other people to copy what I do. But this doesn't seem to be the case.
So the technology was born in 1951
Oh.
with Union Carbide and
Mm.
General Electric. It took
Okay.
all about 65 years to take it from almost industrial to gem.
Hmm.
Uh, I would have to respectfully say we were not the only one working on this technology.
Hmm.
There were other kids in the candy store too. And
Hmm.
I think with technology, as you know, it's two parts. One is cracking the technology. Second is bringing it to the consumer. I think I
Oh
always
yeah.
back down to Tesla and Elon Musk, because while there were other people who knew how to make electric cars, nobody had the guts, and I repeat,
Mm.
nobody had the guts to go out and tell the consumer, you have a choice.
Hmm.
Nobody was willing to design cars that were seductive, beautiful, quiet, and put in a huge tablet 10 years ago. You
Hmm.
know,
Yeah, yeah.
you Yeah, I have a friend who told me this, and I give him the credit rather than take it. He told me what would have all these big car companies paid to make Tesla disappear day one.
Hmm.
So that is where, I guess, for me, it's a sense of pride. It's a sense of achievement during my journey. Is that, like you said, yes, technology is out there. But what was important, and I think that's where I have put in most of my years at least in the last 7 years, is educating the consumer of the choice without being scared. Because you have to keep in mind, the first year when I came to market, we were under $3 million of revenue. And I was talking, I would say not against, but my voice was loud enough for the $12 billion corporations that were in mining to be heard. And I'm sure
Hmm.
you've had a lot of speakers and you've encountered this. A kid who's $3 million small family company, and then on the other side is a $12 billion corporation and 150 million carats of mining. And I think that should say a
Oh.
lot for anybody who's listening to this, that
Hmm.
how many people can raise their voice and say we need to stop mining. And today, with thanks to reporters, editors, and podcasters like yourself and the consumers, that today we have reached a point to say, why should we mine a diamond when we can grow a beautiful one above the earth with
Hmm.
renewable energy?
And the cost, is it in a similar ballpark? Like if I compare like how much I would have to pay for, I don't know, 1 carat of a mine diamond and one of a lab grown diamond, is it comparable?
It's actually even more interesting. Uh, I'm sure you have heard of enough stories that the earth mine diamond distribution was always within certain communities, the supply chain, from the mining to the consumer. Did you know that a diamond changed 11 hands before it went into somebody's hands or neck or ears?
Oh,
11
no,
people's hands.
no.
That's the truth. Yeah. An earth mine diamond. So I can only, I guess, with both of us smart on this recording, is margins get added every time hands are
Oh,
changed.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
In the world of transparency, in the world of technology today, we grow our diamonds and we bring it to the consumer. Today, a consumer gets almost twice the size of a diamond for the same price. So if you
Okay.
went out this today or tomorrow morning, you said, you know what it is? I love these lab grown diamonds. I love Javar, and went to get a beautiful pair of earrings. If you were spending for a 1 carat pair of mined earrings, you would get a 2 carat pair of beautiful Javar earrings. And that's
Mm.
the value. So, yes,
I'm sold already.
Mhm.
I'm sold, man. Come on. I mean, it's sustainable, it's eco-friendly, and it's half the price. So, I mean, you have a really good deal on your hands, man.
It's the evolution of diamonds. This is the future of the industry. One thing I would
Mhm.
like to say is, when I earlier used to make presentation to corporations, the big retail stores,
Mhm.
and when they see the word disruption, it's like, oh my God, you're going to destroy. I don't know why. People think disruption is destruction. And then I tell them, I
Mhm.
said, please let me spell it for you. The way it spells is Innovation. Disruption is innovation in forms we have never thought we could do. This is what Elon Musk did. We did
Mhm.
not think, I always make a joke. If two guys were on a golf course 10 years ago, and one guy told the other, what do you think? How fast can an electric car go? And he would point, he said, that golf cart. 10 years later, the day Alter came to market and I was in London on BBC, Elon Musk put the Roadster on the moon. So
Mhm.
science evolves, human lives evolve, and we today are continuously in sync. And both of us know that Gen Z, Gen A consumers today not only adapt technology, but also embrace it in ways that we have not thought before. And
Hmm.
Javar leads that conversation for fine jewelry.
That's fantastic. Now I feel even more blessed to have you on my show here today. I mean, this is all things that I hear for the first time in my life, to be honest. And I'm sure that a lot of other people will be very curious to hear about all these new developments, which we are actually like, I'm really surprised about what is happening, behind the scenes in the jewelry industry. Yeah, that is very, very inspiring. Thank you so much for sharing all this. Now,
Absolutely.
you are where are you selling your products? Are these mostly retail stores, or is it mostly online, or how does your company structure look like in terms of
So
sales?
Javar is today a digital store,
Ah,
and
I just
currently,
visited it, yeah, before our call. I saw you have a beautiful store with videos, and it looks very impressive. Yeah.
thank you. So Javar is currently a digital store, and by fall 23, which is in the next 4 months, we will be available in stores in United States and
Oh.
Canada. There's a few luxury stores that have taken the brand and would like to bring it to their consumers. So we will
Mm,
be available digitally as well as in store. And I'm very determined to take this brand globally, slowly, slowly. Uh,
mm,
the parent company, Alter, is currently in a lot of countries, US, Canada, Poland, Australia, and growing. Our whole vision, Dano, is to grow, keeping transparency and authenticity in place, and also
mhm,
educate. So, the conversation about how do you grow a diamond, I would invite our viewers to visit the website www.javar.co and go to how do we make our diamonds. Like you said,
mhm.
yes, a lot of people are like, wow, can you make diamonds? We have a film that is the only authentic diamond growing film in the world on the
Wow.
website that will educate one to understand how diamonds are grown.
Fantastic. I will definitely include this in our description. So if you're looking for the link, don't look any further. Just scroll down below this video and I will provide the link to this video and, of course, your store. Yeah, so you're actually very active online. So you're mostly selling online and you're looking to enter physical retail stores. How would you describe the biggest challenges you're facing right now to grow your brand?
So the biggest challenge in growing the brand is getting to the consumer. As you know, the journey of getting to the consumer is a longer journey. Uh,
Marketing?
yeah, and yeah, marketing is the biggest thing. The checks are very big, and also what we want to get to is get to the consumer and educate. I think shows like yourself will really help because education is a form of marketing today. People don't
Hmm.
realize consumers don't want to be sold, they want to be educated. Education is power.
Yeah.
And the challenge today that we face is uh, there's a lot of other generic portals and websites and that are trying to sell lab grown diamonds. You know, how does a consumer distinguish between a genuine brand that is authentic and transparent versus all the popping new websites that are popping up everywhere trying to say, oh, here's $2 cheaper? And I think that is one challenge. So, education of authenticity and transparency. Secondly, the bigger marketing dollars is, of course, very, very crucial, which we're slowly building the trajectory. The third one was reach, which thankfully, with the relationships we have in retail, this year we will start bridging them. We will be available online and offline. and I believe it will help. And finally, building a brand is a journey. It's a long.
Oh, yeah. That is one of my favorite topics as a marketer. Yeah. The brand building, the trust building, and building your community. That is essential. But you have all it takes. I mean, you have something unique. You have, uh, you represent something. You have a face. You have a story. So you have all the ingredients that, this brand message needs. So I think you're in a very good place to build your brand and to grow it internationally.
No, no, thank you. That's very kind of you to say. Very kind of you.
Yeah, maybe we can bring some of your diamonds to Malaysia someday.
Someday I would love to. I think I always tell everybody, I said, find me a girl that doesn't love diamonds,
Mm,
you know? And
exactly.
it's diamonds and beautiful jewelry. And more importantly, I would say beautiful jewelry speaks every language and is adopted and accepted in every culture. It speaks emotions, passion in ways we can't even express. And that's why today jewelry stands as the key, conversational point.
Yeah.
So it's it's personal to me, and I believe
Mhm.
that jewelry will go around the world, and someday Javar uh, will be everywhere.
I am very confident it will because it has a fantastic brand ambassador named Amish who
Thank
can who has so much style and so much sophistication. And I mean, the way you tell the story is just I'm just taken aback. So there is no second thought and no doubt about how authentic and untruthful you are. So I have very high confidence that you will get this to go wherever you want it to go.
thank you. I think it's what I learned in the years is when you empower the consumer with facts
Mm,
and you tell them everything that you know in terms of through education, and that they make decisions that are in sync with who they are. This was the biggest victory. Javar's journey started not because of my vision or my thought process, but it was born because of the consumer. The
mm,
consumers that believed in lab grown diamonds when we pioneered Alter. And it was a consumer's demand to create Javar. So Javar is not only my creation, but Javar is a creation born because of the consumer. And I think I attribute it not only to my dad and who gave me the name and the vision and blessed me with it, but importantly the consumer that is allowed to create this journey. And that is why I'm confident that this journey is going very far as long as myself, my teams, and the brand stays authentic to its cores. We have these pillars of design, because design is all about connection, passion, emotion, quality, something that a brand needs to adhere to and stand for, and sustainability, which is very important. In simple words, let's leave the earth the way we got it when we came in. Everything else can be talked about sustainability, but at the end of the day, let's live on this earth with peace, joy, enjoy everything, but can we leave it with the same way we got it? So, with these core pillars, when you bring this all together and create a beautiful jewel, I think it connects to the consumer. And that's where I believe the Javar journey is going to stand itself apart from any other conversation, because be it yourself or be it anybody, be it a gift or a self purchase, which is what we want to stand for and market to, the wearer, the owner, the gifter is going to have a sense of pride. And that means a lot to me as somebody who has created this. That smile, that sense of pride means everything to me.
Fantastic. Wow. I think that was your closing statement. I don't know if we can get any better than this, but I'm amazed. This is the first time I heard someone from the jewelry industry like talk in in this something like very so progressive and so like you're doing new stuff here. I mean, we talk to all kind of entrepreneurs who are in the software industry and doing this and that, which where like innovation is something given, but to hear this innovation in the jewelry industry to me is something like really unheard of and very surprising and very delightful also.
It's
So
all, I do want to say innovation, technology in different ways improves human life, has evolved us. This is one innovation that touches the heart.
a moment of silence here.
Silence, I think.
Innovation and touch. Yeah, yeah, that's beautiful. That's
So
beautiful. Wow. Thank you so much, Amish. This was such an amazing, insightful sharing. I will make sure that our viewers will get all the information in the description below the video. Of course, you are also welcome to share if there's anything else that you would like. Is there any place where would you would like people to go to find you or your brand?
Sure. To find the brand and experience it, please visit our website, www.javar.co, spelled as
Hmm.
JEVAR.co. And then in terms of technology or for all your audience and viewers, if they have any questions, please feel free to, put it when you post the podcast. Please ask your questions. I'll be very glad to respond to them. And
Hmm.
if they have any concierge needs, we do a lot of custom. So again, please reach out to us. And
Hmm.
thank you very, very much for inviting me on your show. It was an absolute pleasure sharing the journey. And thank you once again, because it means a lot and to reach out to the consumer, to your audience.
Thank you so much, Amish. Thank you for being here with me, and I wish you all the best, and we will stay in touch.
Thank you, Dan.